Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your purchase of your Mesa Ridge 241 BH travel trailer. I'm here to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things, get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things to take into consideration when parking. On your campsite, there's plenty of room for that awning to come in and out. Over on your off campsite, besides your slide, leaving plenty of room for that to come in and out. I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power is going to plug in on your off camp side, or your driver's side of your tow vehicle, toward the rear of the unit. There's your power. Right there's where we'll hook up our water. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive and unhook your hitch, first thing we're going to do is level your unit. Your unit does come with a power stabilizing jack. Night docking light, should you arrive at night, simply raise, retract to lower, extend to raise your unit. Under this rubber stopper right here, that manual crank right there will get it up and down if you lose power. Speaking of power, check your battery posts when you ride, make sure those haven't wiggled loose. Once you've got our unit level, next thing we do is stabilize it. All four corners of the unit have these stabilizing jacks with a hand crank, 3/4 inch socket on the end. You can use a drill gun or an impact driver. I just recommend you slow down when you get to the bottom. Now you're only going to run these down until they're taut. Recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris and hot blacktop in the summer. Better distribute the weight. Run these down on top of those just until they're taut. Once you have any type of resistance on your hand crank when it's down, go ahead and stop. Again, our unit's level, we just want to stabilize it. So run your two down on the front, a couple on the back. Once you got your power, once we got our unit level and stable, we can go ahead and hook up our power and water. Big long 30 amp cord plugs on the back here. Where they go in now is they go into the left. Once it's in, twist it to the right and put your washer on. That'll lock that on there for you. At the end of that 30 amp service, should you need to ever plug in a home or any other 110, in your convenience pack will be a 30 to 15 amp reducer. Got our power hooked up, let's hook up our water. So just to the right of that, to the left actually, is going to be your docking station. Flip this up, point this down there to hold your door open. At campsites, we're going to hook up to city water connection, which means point your blue handle down. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in the unit. I always use this when putting fluid in here. Get that in there nice and tight. Once that's in there, hook up your hose. So don't turn your hose on yet. Let's find your hot water heater on your unit. It's over here on the campsite. And all we're going to do at this point, folks, is make sure our drain plug's back in. You may have left that out last time you were out camping. Get that on there nice and snug. Once that's in there tight, you can turn that hose on. After the hose has been on for a little while, go inside. You can deploy your slide if you need to. But I need you to get to all your water taps. Open all those up, get a nice steady flow of water flowing through, shut them off. Once the water is flowing through all those, you'll know your hot water heater is full and you can turn it on from indoors. Now let's say we're going to go camping. We're not going to use city water or plug in at a campsite. We're going to go dry docking or boondocking as they call it. In that case, we're going to simply fill up our fresh water tank. Up here it says tank fill to the left. Turn this to the left, fill it up the same way, treat your hot water heater the same way. But you need to go inside when you're filling this fresh water up, because what you want to do is keep an eye on the tank. Once the tank is full, stop and remove your hose. And then whenever you want to use that fresh water, you'll turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump when you use this city water, that's already pressurized. All right, we're all set to camp with power and water. I'm going to show you around the rest of the unit, starting here in the docking station. Got a spray port here. This is your black tank flush. We'll talk about that when leaving the campsite. There's where you plug in your satellite or cable. And over here is your two water connections. Your power here, and your tank dump here. On the side of your slide, you've got a couple of access panels to the back of your fridge. Up here, you've got big pass-through storage area. Your propane does come with a cover, and it's on a regulator. Simply point it toward the tank you used to be using, lefty loose it open. Again, check your batteries now and then, make sure those haven't wiggled loose going down the road. The other side of your pass-through storage, this is the blue hose that'll hook up into that spray port. Again, your hot water heater. Got a 110 out here. That's a flue for your furnace. If you run your furnace there, clear that, it will get hot. And make sure nothing's ever blocking it. Up here we've got a vent for a microwave and a couple outdoor speakers. Which brings us to our outdoor kitchen. Magnets will hold this up top. Got your fridge. Another spot for that blue hose to plug in to spray things off. Pull your griddle out. Turn this handle up. That'll turn your gas on. Set up your grill. Hook up your hose up underneath here. Pull that out and plug into your quick connect right here on the end. This won't close unless you shut your gas off. Down here you also have a low point drain. You got a ladder, utilize it. Go up and check the seams of your roof a couple times a year and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. You also prep for a backup camera, and you have a spare tire. Before I get too far away from this awning, hypothetically your picnic table's down there and it's raining. Go ahead and pull down on this pitch adjust, and it's going to run all the rainwater down to this end. Straighten it as close as you can. It will straighten itself out when retracting. Again, coming off your off-camp side, your power, and again your docking station. That about covers everything out here. Let's go take a look on the inside. Coming up inside your unit, first thing I like to point out is the fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows that the fire extinguisher is located at the entry doorway in case of emergency. To your right as you come in, all the way up top is going to be a control panel. That's the button I said you'll hold down to tell when your fresh water is full. Your black and gray tanks. Here's where you turn on your water pump if you're using potable water. Two places to turn on your water heater. Choose correctly. That's if you're just on gas. That's if you're plugged in for electric. Interior, exterior lights, slide control, awning control. On your awning, the top of your awning is gray, the bottom is white. You only want to run this out until that white flap falls down to 90 degrees and you can see that brown bar. These will continue to run themselves out and run themselves up backwards if you don't watch them when you run them out. So keep an eye on them when you run them out. Running that awning back in here. Go ahead and shut off my awning light. And as your awning comes in, we'll go ahead and continue our tour. We call these slam locks because they work best when lightly slammed. Alright, to our left we got our bunks. 110s and USB ports there. Got a smoke alarm right above your bathroom. Coming into your dinette area. This table will lift up, remove your legs. Put your tabletop on these pieces here. Put your back cushions on top, and that'll give you another sleeping quarters. Over here's your North Cold fridge. Turn that on. Here's our mode. Right now we're on gas. Right now we're on auto. Auto means when you're plugged in, you're running off electricity. As soon as you unplug, you're on gas. Or you can go just electricity, just gas. Best to leave it on auto when plugged into campsites. Over here is where you change your temperature 1 through 5 in the coldest. Changing around here, we've got our thermostat. Let's go ahead and crank that on. Hold this button in, go through and pick cool. We'll crank up your AC. Shut that off. That'll shut off rather quickly. Just hold this in to shut off. AC off. Turn this back on again. And we will pick heat for your furnace. Furnace kicked on. Go ahead and shut that off. You'll notice that the furnace fan takes a few minutes to shut off. Cycle through before it shuts off. In your kitchen, you got your 110 with GFCI reset. A lot of one-touch lighting up in here. Self-explanatory microwave. Below that, you have a light and a fan for your cooktop. This glass top makes an excellent backsplash. Turn on your panel light. Turn this to light. Hit your spark. When your gas is on, you'll have flames here. Same thing on your oven. Just turn this to light. Light it down here with this spark and then set it to the desired temperature. No need for a pilot light anymore. Take this panel light, rock it down, you got an oven light. Below your oven is going to be your breaker box. Infuses. A couple of 15s in there. Highly recommend having some of those with you when you go camping. Up here will be your television and your sound bar. Go through your modes on this. You can switch your radio or take your mode to TV, auxiliary, DVD, Bluetooth. Really nice sound system here. Heading into our bathroom. Coming into our bathroom, 110 here. Got a fan up top, hand open exhaust, lighting, some plumbing to maintain. Underneath your sink here, you got an access panel. That's going to be all PEX plumbing nowadays, but keep an eye on it. You are bouncing a house down the road. Things tend to wiggle loose. Coming out of your bathroom, back into our bedroom. Not much to talk about in here other than your emergency escape window. You are prepped for a TV back here. There's your backer. You can mount one on there. Cable in 110. Then you've got some storage up underneath your bed. One last thing to mention in this bedroom. When you travel, you want to make sure that this bedroom is snapped open. You don't want this door bouncing all over the place on you. That about covers everything on the inside. Let's act like we're getting ready to leave the campsite and close the unit up. Alright, so what I like to do is come to my control panel, shut off my interior lights, and I can look around the unit and see all the one-touch lighting I need to go through and shut off. And then our bedroom light turns off from out here. Shut off our reading lights. So I like to know that all my lighting's off. I turn back up to my control panel. Turn this interior light back on. I did notice in the dark my bathroom light was still on. Doors and drawers. Walk through your unit, make sure all your doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede your slide from coming in. Again, make sure that your bedroom door is snapped open. Bathroom door is snapped closed. All doors and drawers in their return position. If you have your TV out on your swivel, make sure you put it back flat. Come on over here and just slide in. Gonna run our slide back in here. And once our slide is in, shut off our interior lights and exit the unit. Now the biggest thing you have to remember on these folks is that make sure your exterior door is all the way open. Otherwise this could catch on it when it comes up. Lift these up and in. lock this in here. I did want to show you have adjustable feet on these. Simply pull on this and extend or retract. Before you leave the dump station, because you may want to go in here to check your tanks while you're dumping, make sure that you lock and deadbolt your door. Lift and turn this handle. Lock up your outdoor cooking space. If you are at a campsite, we're going to unhook our power, our water, and our cable and bring up all of our stabilizing jacks. If you are out dry camping, you're going to come down here. Freshwater tank's going to dump right there. Get the campsite, hook up, and head on up to the dump station. Now park accordingly. Your dump's going to be behind your rear tires on your off camp side or your driver's side of your tow vehicle. Once you arrive, hook up your hose here. And the first thing I'm going to do is pull this black handle. That's going to be a big black handle back there. Once that sounds like it's empty, no longer draining, leave that black handle open. You can go inside and check your panel if you want to make sure it's empty, but leave that black handle open. Again, with your water pressure regulator, hook up to tank flush. Turn that hose on at the dump station for a good 5 minutes. Wash that black tank out. Get all the nastiness out of there. When it's done, shut that hose off. Remove that. Close your black handle and pull one of those grays and then the other gray, one at a time. Make sure they're both empty. Once those are done, we're going to go ahead and dump our other low point drain, which is going to be right over here on your campsite underneath your cooking station. Dump those low points. Once those are done, come up to your hot water heater, lift up on your pressure release valve. That's going to dump the remainder of your hot water out of here. When that's done, push that back down, and then you can pull this drain plug. Be careful, that is hot water coming out of there. And head on home. Again, so thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Mesa Ridge for many years to come. Happy camping.